some technical difficulties. Let's get back to it. Let me know if you guys can see okay. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry about that, guys. I had to get some things restarted on the laptop. We'll get started in just a second. Alright, so here we opened up in about 12 minutes, and here we have Tesla right here. The ticker symbol was TSLA, and basically what you're seeing on my chart right now is I kind of tried out some of the things I was looking at before. I trade intraday, so of course I'm looking at like what's happening within. I started with the 4-hour time frame a lot of times, and with Tesla we're already down over 4.5%, almost 4.5%, 4.3% in pre-market. Tesla has been getting beat down honestly. So even when we had this little downward channel that we were forming, I saw that we were still facing this channel. We can like really break out for real. And even last weekend, this guy kind of moved off. But, even like last week, we attempted to build up towards a breakout, but that just was not going to happen whatsoever. You see, like every time we even touch this area, it started to like look down, and it couldn't really gain any traction. And then plus on top of that, if we did break out, we faced this bearish fair value gap, which is just not good for setting up a real move to the upside. And we continue that down. Now we're down to this 231 level, this 230 support, which is going to be interesting if we see us continue further down, which I can see is definitely going down. It's going to test like 225 to 220. That's a big level for Tesla. And of course, like right here, this 220 level, like 218, 219, 220, it's a big support for Tesla. So if we get down that far, it's going to be interesting to see if we finally break that down further, because it's always maintained that level of support. So here you can see like right here, we basically, let me make this bigger. Right here, we kind of whipped off this bottom support around the same 220 level once, and then around this area again twice. It didn't fully touched in, and then we tested back again 3 times, 4th time. So this showing that this is a strong support level for Tesla. But they also have earnings coming up on Tuesday. So that's gonna be interesting to see how that fully turns out, because that can end up changing some of the direction. The thing that we're looking for with Tesla with that though, is that the fact that one of the big reasons Tesla's been getting beat down is, aside from Elon Musk talking too much, is that they're really getting hurt over in China because of things that are going on with the trade wars between us and China. So that hurts a lot of their sales already. And China has its own Tesla company essentially. They have a company called BYD. They also have NIO and a couple others that the government subsidizes that they want to do well. So that just kind of gives them an excuse to really tear down Tesla when we have stuff going on like this with the trade wars. So what people are going to be looking for when they tune in to Tesla's earnings is they know they're going to be bad, essentially. They know they're going to be bad. It's just about how bad are they actually going to be. That's what people want to know. How bad is earnings actually going to be? So we'll see that. I used to, when I was younger trader, when I was early on, I used to try to guess these moves and see what would happen. I'm not doing that. That's too risky for me. So what I like to do, I like to trade the aftermarket move. A lot of times, if you do try to trade earnings, you'll get slammed by theta on both sides, and unless you have like a substantial move, it doesn't end up being worth it. A lot of times, it's just better for you to just trade the move that's after this, that happens like the next day when it opens up. So we're about at 9:20, 9:23. We got about a few more minutes before the market opens up. I'm gonna kind of go down some things on my watch list, but definitely let me know if you guys have anything that you want me to go over, any specific stocks. But in my free Discord, I drop down, I create a premium market watch list and show you what I'm looking for, any news, things like that, and what's coming up. So the next one I'm gonna go and turn to is Nvidia. This ticker symbol is NVDA. This is a chip stock. They pretty much rule the chip market, honestly. This is a stock I entered into puts last week. I'll show you why. Yeah, my chart is kind of shifted. I'm gonna go to the screen. But as you can see, I kind of drew this out. Take some stuff out so you can see it better. I've been watching the video for a while, and we're in this downwards channel. All right, it's not perfect. It doesn't say it have to be perfect, but it just gives you an idea of like what's going on. We're in this downwards channel, and last time we reached to about 115. This area's been struggling at. It's rejected off of it and even gapped down. So I'll make it bigger for you guys. You kind of see we got to this area, we had this directional move, and then we had this one candle, and it just kind of gapped down. It whipped up, but it's still, this is a very bearish signal right here, and it's still struggling. And it was finding support around at $100, which is like a big psychological support for Nvidia. And you can see over the weekend, we're actually down about 3%, about 2.9% right now. So we broke that $100 mark, so we're down around 98, which is going to be interesting to see how we basically, what it decides to do. Because right now, even though we're at 98, sitting around this level, we go down to about 95. This is the bottom of this trend line, which it definitely can drop below. So I just want to see if it's going to end up continue down further, just drop into this this $95 support level or lower, or we're going to just kind of sit around here, kind of gain some support and bounce up. But I definitely see it trying to test this $95 support level down in this channel before doing anything else. That's basically what I was banking on with my trade setup that I have. So I'm looking for this around $95, and I'll probably get out around then, unless I see something else that I like to continue down with. And after that, and when I'm trading to the downside, just so you guys know, I use a strat. So I base it a lot of times it's off price action. So I use if I'm going to the downside, I use the previous lows of a previous candle. So right here, this low is around $100. So I knew that the next low is around right here, which is around 998, and then lower than that, it's 97.50. And this just gives me an idea to what to target at each point when it's it's trailing down. So now knowing that all right, we have $95 coming up, which I might I'm just going to mark this out, just because I just like to have visual representation of that. So it's not going to be exactly perfect at $95, but it's around that level. Now I know there's going to be some support and kind of matches up with it. So that's what I'll be looking for with that. And then next thing I'll be targeting maybe around 92. Oh, I forgot to mention, guys, when we do have Tesla's earning this week, they're also going to be using that to kind of gain insight on NVIDIA. And the reason being is that Tesla buys a lot of NVIDIA stocks for what they're doing. Not NVIDIA stocks, a lot of NVIDIA chips for what they're doing for for their chips for their cars, and also they do it for like their learning system called Dojo, which they use to help train in Tesla cars, essentially for the self-driving. So they start to see that they're slowing down on buying NVIDIA chips due to the market of like what's going on with, of course, increased prices, but also some of the things that's happening with China and the tariffs that may happen for NVIDIA. That's something to pay attention to that definitely could affect NVIDIA stock. And we could see this breakdown even further, which really a full breakdown of past 95, of course, our target 90, and then around $86, around 86.50. And so that's just what we want to keep eyes on. I'm gonna go out into the weekly chart so we can kind of get a better idea of what we're looking at on a longer time frame. So this is on the weekly time frame, and this is where we're at right now, or where we were. Then we can see that we're gonna start to target. I already kind of marked out this $95 level. You can see that 92 is a support level, but it's really, that's not the major level. It's really 90 after that, which you can see with this right here. This is $90 level, which is a bigger support. So we start to break back down there. You can then start to target like 86 right here. And one of the ways you even can see that this move was setting up is we have this directional move right here, where these are two candles. Two candles are just directional moves. It can be up or down. But you can see they move down. That's why they're red. And then we have this three candle. A three candle just means that it went outside the previous high and the previous low. Like you see, it went a lot lower than this previous candle, and then it also went higher than this previous candle. But the thing with the three candle is also called an outside day. It also can be a sign for a reversal to come. And which we kind of which we kind of saw right here. We saw this one. It moved up finally, bounced up. But outside of that, it's starting to head back down. It looks like the market just opened up. We're gonna check things out and see what's going on. Like I was telling you guys, I like to let the first few minutes just play out. I don't want to rush anything. Right now, the video is kind of bouncing a little bit in the open, but it's still super early, so I'm just let this play out. But let me know if you have any questions or you have any stocks you want me to look at in particular. I'm on the 5-minute time frame right now. Excuse me. support. So just letting this play out. Here, I'm gonna get the 1 minute time frame real quick. I'm not having too much of a harsh move. As I was saying, Mondays you typically just let things kind of just fill itself out, see what it wants to do. And we're still not too far off from like this $100 support. So there's not really been too large of a move yet. The thing about it, even though Nvidia is looking bearish right now, if the market decides to, it can feel like this gap up to like this 100 was one-on-one level. The thing about gap fills, most gaps fill, I think it's around like 80%, but it doesn't mean that all gaps fill. It could definitely end up continuing this trend down. So we're just gonna like watch, let it play out, at least like in this first 15 minutes. See what it wants to do. Like I'm looking at SPY on my other chart, and it kind of has a similar setup. It gapped down, but it's still continuing down. But it's still testing like this 520 level. Which once we break 520, we'll kind of get a better idea. I'm gonna go ahead and start looking at some other stocks while that plays out. What I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna set up a trigger. Right now we're almost 5 minutes in, so I'm gonna set up a trigger at this low. It's not my final trigger to get in, but it just gives me an idea of where we're heading. Then I'm gonna mark up this high right now. I usually like to do this on the 15-minute chart, but just since I'm gonna move around looking at different stocks, I just want to go ahead and have that on alert for me. One thing we'll look at is Apple. Okay, yeah, so I already started triggering down a little bit. It's a good time for me. I'm already in puts from last week. So here we are on Apple. Apple, we also had a gap down, but it looks like it's wicking off this 192 level. But it's still very much looking bullish. It kind of bounced up a little bit. So I'll mark this trigger, mark this level out. It's around 193, 194. See, it hasn't decided what it wants to do yet fully. I'm just setting alerts right now, just so I can know when it does decide to make a larger move. Overall, it does like the market wants to continue down. I'm gonna take a look at Tesla. Tesla was already down about 4.5% before we even opened up. Let me see where that's at right now. Oh wow, okay. Yeah, Tesla's down about 4.5%. Like it went down and touched 228, but it's still holding that support around 230 right now. Kind of bounced up. It has a similar setup to what happened with Apple. Look at a 30-minute time frame. It looks like the video still dropping. My puts are not about to be in the money. I'm going to scale out of some. I very much believe in see profit, take profit. And plus, I have a few different video plays, so. Yeah, I'm looking at a 4-hour time frame Tesla. All right, so we're breaking below that 230 level. With Tesla though, like I was saying, I really want to see it break below this 225 and even like this 215 level really holds up Tesla pretty heavy. So we're gonna see a breakdown. I really want to see that below 225, that 220 level, and 215. If we get below 215, it's gonna get ugly for Tesla, honestly. Which I doubt that's gonna happen today, just because they have earnings tomorrow, and there's gonna be probably some weird movement going on. Like you're gonna see a lot of bouncing around as people kind of prepare for their earnings, because even though Tesla, we know the earnings is gonna be bad, we don't. If it's not as bad as what people think it's gonna be, Tesla could really rally. Which is the funny thing about that. It's like they just wanna know, like people know it's gonna be ugly, but we're just like, alright, if it's not too horrible, then people will start to buy. Which honestly, these discounts we're getting on some of these stocks is pretty crazy. So even though I'm trading this, trading is just to supplement my long-term portfolio. I like to buy some of these dips, like some of these prices I'm looking at, like Nvidia at $98. It gets down to $95. I already have an order set to buy some more shares, because I'm investing for the long term. This is like some short-term turbulence, and that's what we want to make sure keeping. Hold on, it's just some short-term turbulence. So we definitely just don't want to be scared out of our position due to that. If you guys like these streams, definitely follow. And also, if you go into my link in my bio, you'll kind of have to go to my YouTube or DM me directly, and I'll send you a link to my free Discord. We definitely go over free stock charting, things I'm looking at. Also, we do like sports bets as well, and I have built an AI assistant basically that helps you make your better decisions when you're doing your trading or basically just making any of your money moves. It's free right now. It's still in development, but you guys, if you join the Discord, you'll be some of the first people to try it out. And it basically just helps me make better decisions. It tracks some of the moves I make, and just identifies if I'm over trading or if I'm trading too much of a certain type. And so that's definitely in this beta form. So definitely stay tuned. Join the Discord if you want more of that. Also, just follow me as I'll be going live several times a week. We have a lot in store, especially even before April is done. We have a lot rolling now that I'm just really giving out for free, and it may not always be free, but hey, if you get in sooner than later, you get a lot of those benefits early on, and you won't really miss out. So definitely check that out. Here, let's see another one. Let me check out Meta. It's about 9:42. So what I'm looking at now is like once this first 15 minutes is about to close, this really the one I like to use to set an alert for. Is this 15 minute? The first 15-minute candle. So I mark out the high and low of that. And really, once I see a break of this 15-minute candle in either direction, that's when I know what direction I like to enter in. I like to use the 4-hour time frame overall, but with the way this market has moved, we've had a lot of gap ups and gap downs, like overnight. So at that time, I go down to my 15-minute candle and I trade off of that. So this is NVIDIA I'm marking out. This low is around like 97.40. 97.47 is a low. So if we trigger below that, I mean, I'm already input, so I'm just let them rock. And then the high is around like 99.43. If we get below higher than that, you could enter into calls. But if you do enter into calls, be very careful just because we're still very much in a downtrend. But that's only, I would only enter into calls if you were like targeting a very short term target and you saw momentum going your way. Because right now things are still very much bearish. It's still pretty slow, but you should have an idea of what's going on. And then we have Google is reporting this week as well. This is ticker is GOOGL. Google reports Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. And they already had like a little bit of trouble, especially going into the weekend. So Google's been having this court case going on where in the European Union they basically call them a monopoly, which if we're being honest, hypothetically, supposedly they are. I mean, but even still, and so they're debating if they're gonna make Google sell part of itself off to kind of take away that whole concept of it being a monopoly. Well, honestly, if Google did that, we're gonna see both stocks rally. Not like because of that news, but we're gonna see both stocks just gain a large market share. Like it may not be the next couple months or next year, but I definitely don't see like a company like Google staying down. Yeah, they definitely still got some downside to go. If they continue to just move down, I could definitely see Google touching probably like 140. This is on the weekly time frame. Let me check this out. They got so I mean I would target 145 first, like 145. Yeah, like 145, like 50 first with Google, and then I could see it go down to about 142 before it down to 140. It has a little bit of support along the way. So yeah, definitely test that 145, and then looks like Nvidia's falling some more. We're gonna check that back out. But yeah, with Google, I definitely can see that touching on 145 and going to 140. And this is on the weekly time frame, so what I like to do, I like to add a little bit of extra time just in case the move doesn't happen that fast. So I'll look at least like extra week or two out. Nvidia.
pretty short week, so this should be.
Kind of interesting. Yeah, things are just moving a little slow right now. But I think I'm going to take a break for now, guys. So thank you all for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow. Or if you want, I don't know. Drop something in the comments and I might come back later today. But I'll definitely be back tomorrow with further breakdown and kind of going over everything that's going on. So thank you guys for tuning in. Please like and follow. Turn on notifications. I go live several times a week and I'll do market breakdowns. And also, we went 100% on our plays yesterday too. So on the sports betting side, if you want to get in those, you can check basically the link is on my, not the link, the post is on my profile. So definitely check that out. You can verify it yourself. It's 100%. I posted it way before the games even started. So definitely check that out. Peace. Thank you guys for tuning in.